Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time. Thanks for joining me today, and also welcome to the runners who have joined the channel for the first time. So today's sequence is suitable for absolutely anybody, though I put this class together with those runners in mind that might be needing to have a post-run cool down and stretch. So this one is a combination of standing, kneeling and sitting. I do have an earlier class that I've uploaded which is just reclined only. So when you're ready, come to stand for me. We're going to take those feet nice and wide, toes out a little bit wider than the heels. A few movements with the breath. I want you to inhale the arms up, breathing through the nose. Bring the palms together, and as you exhale, lowering down into a squat. Going down as far as is comfortable for you. Inhale to come up and exhale to lower. This is our last one. We're going to stay down this time and bring the hands to the thighs. It doesn't matter which shoulder you do first, just drop one shoulder and maintain a little bit of pressure from the hands onto the knees. So this is a nice deep hip stretch, but also feels nice for those shoulders as well. Be sure to finish on the opposite side that you started. And then we'll come all the way up. So turning the toes in now, either having the feet parallel to the short sides of the mat, or you can take a slight pigeon toe if you prefer. Let's bring the arms out to the side. Take Chin Mudra, connect index finger and thumbs, roll the wrists forward and also roll the shoulders forward. And then try and move the elbows back a little. You might like a little neck stretch here, left ear to the shoulder, and then right side. Well done. Back to center. Lower those hands down. If you can, interlace the hands behind you. If you can't, you can always hold on to a strap instead. Inhale, lift the heart, and press into both feet as though you're trying to stretch the mat. Maintain that action as you fold forward. If you can, knuckles can point to the ceiling. Let the upper body hang. Make sure you're not hyperextending through the knees. You will need to engage your quads here a little and lift up through the arches of the feet. Feel free to turn the head from side to side. Feel free to ha out the breath. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, lower those hands down to the floor. We're going to get a little deeper into the hamstrings and the hips. I want you to bend your right knee, drop your hips over towards that heel as you straighten the left leg. So again, engage the quad, draw up the kneecap, try not to hyperextend there. Breathe into that left leg. And let's change sides, go for a walk over to the left foot. And then from here, we're going to transition into a low lunge. So hands walking to the top of the mat, square the hips, bring your left knee down and take your hands to the right thigh. So you can press the hands down here. Make sure your left buttock is engaged and feel as though you're trying to drag that left knee forward a little. Breathe. Slow it down. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, a little side bend. Just lift up the left arm ever so slightly. Lean over just a touch, not too far. And then you might choose to return that left hand to the right thigh or bring the left hand to the floor. We'll take a quad stretch. Reach the right hand behind you. Take a hold of that left foot. Again, you can use a strap if you can't reach the foot. Maybe you can draw the foot in a little closer towards the buttock. And if you try to engage the left buttock here again, you'll feel that a little deeper through that left hip flexor. And let's release, well done. Lift up the left knee, bring both hands either side of the right foot. We're going to step the left leg in a little bit closer and then point those right toes to the ceiling. Well done. Ground the right foot down, cross the left leg behind the right so your pinky toes are next to each other. Your front knee can bend, your back leg will stay straight. Either keep the hands in the center or walk over towards your right. So we're getting into that IT band down the outside of the leg and the outer hip. And let's make our way back to center. Keep the legs crossed if you can. Strong in the legs as you reverse swan dive. Come up to stand. Right hand's going to take a hold of the left wrist. Lift up and lean over. Breathe into the left side waist. And let's release. Let's swan dive forward once again. When you meet the floor, uncross the legs. Take your right leg back. Let's move into our low lunge on this side. So both hands to the left thigh, engaging the right buttock, trying to draw that knee forward. So when we engage or contract one side of the body, so in this case, the buttock, it automatically lengthens the opposite side. So as we engage the buttock, we're going to lengthen that hip flexor a little bit more. Either stay there or take that little side bend. And an option to move into your quad stretch. Right hand to the floor, reaching back for that right foot. And let's release. Coming all the way up to that pyramid pose now, pointing left toes up towards the ceiling. Only here for a few breaths. And crossing right foot behind the left. Either stay in the center or walk those hands over to your left. Return to the front, reverse swan dive. Coming up, left hand's going to take the right wrist now, lift up and lean over. And coming back to center, release the wrist, uncross the legs. Take those feet to about hip width apart. Inhale, and as you exhale, fold forward, sweep the arms past the body. Next inhalation, come halfway up, bring the arms with you, engaging your core. Squeeze the heels in just a little. As you exhale next, fold forward, breathe out through the mouth. Step it back, downward facing dog. You might like to gently walk out the legs here. So as you bend one knee, drop that hip, and then change sides. Well done, yogis. Let's lower those knees down to the mat. We're going to take a toe squat here, so only if your knees and ankles permit. If not, you can always skip this and move on to the next exercise. We're going to curl those toes under and sit back onto those heels. So even for the most well-practiced yogi or athlete, this is quite intense for most of us. We'll try and take our awareness off the feet a little. Take the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Bring the hands over to your left, elbow will point to the left, and then turn the head to the left. From here, drop the ear towards the shoulder and lift the chin diagonally. Come back to center, change sides. So we're feeling that nice stretch from the jaw down to the collarbone, our scalene muscles. And if these become quite tight, it can actually inhibit our breath. And back to center, let's relieve those poor feet. Hands come forward, give the feet a little pat if you like. One more kneeling position, sitting back onto the heels once again. Two choices, either bring the hands back behind you as you lift up those knees, or take the hands to the lap, so no hands, lifting up those knees. Gentle stretch into the tops of the feet. Well done, yogis, let's release there. So from here, we're going to move into our pigeon pose, which is a nice stretch for the piriformis muscle, the outer hip and the glute. If you can, we'll lift up those knees and then bring your right knee forward behind the right wrist. So right knee to the right wrist, lengthen the left leg behind you. If this is not an option for you, lean over to the right and bend both legs. Make sure your right knee is still on the right side of the mat. Your right shin is parallel to the short side of the mat, and so to your left thigh. If your legs are in this position, you've got a right angle behind both legs, and you can fold forward over that right knee. Otherwise, keep the back leg straight and coming down in the center. Making a pillow with your hands, or you can make fists, stacking them on top of one another. Now we're only here for a few breaths. Breathing into the lower belly, the lower back, the outer hip. Your next inhalation, lifting up. Let's lean over to the right. We're going to bring this left leg around in front and position the sole of the right foot to the left inner thigh. Create a little bit of resistance here. So push the foot into the thigh, thigh into the foot. Let's bring the arms up. As you exhale, fold forward. And as you inhale, come back up. Keep pressing foot into the thigh. This third time will stay down. Take a hold of the leg wherever you land. You might be near the knee, the calf, or maybe you can reach the foot. It doesn't matter where you are. Keep that little bit of resistance between the foot and the thigh. And then see if you can deepen your breath in the back side of the body. Well done, yogis. Let's inhale, bringing those arms up. Exhale to lower down, lifting up the right knee. Cross the right leg over the left leg. We'll take a twist here. Make sure you're pressing down through that right big toe knuckle. Little bit of resistance between the outer ankle and the outer left leg. Hold onto the knee, or maybe you can hook the elbow around the knee, wrapping the arm around the thigh, looking over your right shoulder. Inhale. And exhale, return to the front. Option to take a hold of your right foot here. A little bit of resistance, so push the foot into the hand, pull the hands back onto the foot, and just see how far you can straighten the leg. Well done, yogis. Let's release. So moving into pigeon pose on the other side, straighten the right leg behind you, square the hips, left knee behind the left wrist. Or again, you can bend both legs. Make sure those shins are parallel to each other and the short side of the mat. Come on down whenever you're ready. Follow your next inhalation out of the pose. Lean over to the left as you bring that right leg around. Coming into our head to knee pose, Janushirshasana. Once again, resistance, just gentle resistance, don't push too hard between the foot and the thigh. Arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lift. Staying down for the third one now, taking a hold of the leg or the foot wherever you land. Try not to push the body too hard. Be at peace with wherever you are right now. Just be with your breath, moving the body. Inhale to come up. Exhaling, hands down. Let's lift up that left knee, crossing it over, creating that bit of resistance there. Hand to the knee or hooking the elbow around the knee, forearm to the thigh. And let's return. Option to take a hold of that foot once again. A little bit of resistance between the foot and the hand. By creating that resistance, it means that you're engaging, you're contracting those hamstrings while you're trying to stretch them, which is very therapeutic, especially if you're nursing a hamstring injury. It also allows us to move deeper into the stretch as well. Let's lower that leg down. Winding the practice down now. Come all the way down onto your back. Have those feet as wide as the mat, knees bent, arms out to the side, and just gently let the knees fall from side to side. Try to move slowly. Take as long as you need to here, yogis. Whenever you're ready, you can come back to center. Straighten the legs as you move into Shavasana for a well-earned rest. Just a few minutes to just be. Thank you for practicing with me today, yogis. Namaste.